So this Santa Inc. situation is still going strong, and the media will not let go of it. Of course, the media is now blaming the fans for the failure of the show. They're not going to blame the creators, because why would that ever be the case? Why would someone ever in Hollywood ever create something that's not just tremendous? And every time that someone dislikes something, it's always the fans' fault, and the fans are always these istaphobes. But they're actually getting pretty creative with this one. The media is getting creative in their insults and their istaphobes that they're throwing around for the failure of Santa Inc. It's so crazy what they try to do to protect these shows, and it's honestly just really strange to me. But let's check in on Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman, because I said in my last video that they're kind of admitting defeat because they're just totally not talking about the show anymore. And in Seth Rogen's case, he's kind of just abandoned Twitter altogether. And if you think about every other celebrity, and even Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman, whenever other projects come out that they're involved in, they'll usually tweet about the projects for at least weeks after the projects come out. Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman are not tweeting about Santa Inc. at all, and Seth Rogen, like I said, has just abandoned Twitter in general. He's just not tweeting at all because he already knows what's going to come when he does tweet, and I think that's an admission of defeat. When it came to Kevin Smith, and even Sarah Silverman's tweeting a little bit, we'll get to her in 1 second, but not really. But when it came to Kevin Smith, I think his biggest problem was that he just wouldn't let it go. Like, he just kept lying on social media in the lead up to the show. Even though we know that people like Clownfish TV are reliable in their sources and their leaks, we knew that he was lying on social media. And then the show came out and he doubled and tripled and quadrupled down on the lies that he told, and he kept on attacking fans. He kept saying that everyone who left bad reviews on his show, which was straight up false advertising, straight up a bait and switch, he was saying that everyone who left bad reviews on his show were all the istaphobes that the mainstream media and just the media in general calls people who leave bad reviews on stuff like Motu and Santa Inc. now, but we'll get to that in 1 second. Let's check in on Sarah Silverman's Twitter. She's been retweeting and tweeting CNN stuff, but not really tweeting anything about Santa Inc. Just CNN and a lot of her podcasts and stuff like that. Just a lot of promotional stuff is what she's tweeting and retweeting. She's not tweeting anything about Santa Inc. and she's not tweeting anything personal at all, because she already knows, like I said, what's coming to her. She's probably just tweeting out these promotional things. She's tweeting out, retweeting things about her podcast and stuff like that, just because she wants to get it out there, just because she wants that exposure. And then she probably just steps away from Twitter, doesn't read the replies or anything like that. Both of them have kind of admitted defeat in that way. But let's get into what I'm talking about with the media coming after the fans and protecting Santa Inc., of course. This article from the Daily Dot says anti-Semites, Holocaust deniers flood comments on trailer for Seth Rogen Christmas movie. What? They're not even throwing around istaphobes. They're throwing around the weirdest insults. And I guess this is what Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman were kind of saying on social media, but not really. Seth Rogen just kind of threw around the entry-level insults that everyone throws around whenever their shows and their movies get bad reviews. He said, the white supreme angle. That's the route that he went. But this article is going a very creative route. I have to give them credit for that. Anti-Semites, and I can't keep saying that other word because you know why. I'm on YouTube. Deniers flood comments on trailer for Seth Rogen Christmas movie. I don't even know how to respond to this. It's just not the case. Like, if you just read the replies, I mean, you can't anymore because obviously they disabled the comments, because you can't have the freedom of speech to talk about how bad this trailer is. Why would you ever want that? But if you actually read the comments back when they were turned on, there was nothing that lined up with this. There was nothing that lined up with this headline at all. But let's read the article and see what's happening in the article. Anti-Semites and deniers are brigading the comment section of the trailer for an upcoming HBO Max Christmas special. Brigading refers to coordinated trolling campaigns. Many of the comments clearly violate YouTube's policies prohibiting hate speech. Okay, if the comments are violating YouTube's policies for prohibiting hate speech, how is the content inside of the show, inside of the trailer, not doing the same? Because in my opinion, obviously there's probably some crazy comments on the trailer. Obviously there's always those crazy people who go in every comment section. They're in my comment section, they're probably in your comment section. It just happens. They're all over Twitter, they're all over YouTube. But for the most part, all these people who are saying the show is bad are just commenting on the stuff that's happening within the show. If they're commenting on that, then how is the content within the trailer, within the actual YouTube video that they posted, how is that not violating the hate speech policies? Which I didn't even know existed. I'll be honest. I didn't even know hate speech policies were a thing. But anyway, let's keep reading. Santa Inc. is an animated limited series written for an adult audience. The plotline centers on an elf voiced by Sarah Silverman who wants to take over the role of Santa Claus. Seth Rogen plays Santa. It's not clear precisely what attracted the attention of anti-Semites and blank deniers that 2 Jewish people, Silverman and Rogen, are starring in the Christmas special seems to have factored in, as many of the comments reference their religion. I guess they just have to go to anti-Semites because Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman aren't racial minorities. They're only minorities in the case of Jewish, but I don't even know if that's a minority. I don't know how this stuff works, man. But they just have to go after the anti-Semite angle because there's nothing else to call the people who are trashing on Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman, because they're not racial minorities. Like, they usually go that angle. I guess you could say that they're, you know, misogynistic or whatever, but Seth Rogen's a man, so it doesn't make any sense. They have no angle to go here. They have to go anti-Semite. They had to get creative, and they definitely got creative. Far-right groups and figures are also circulating a list of people involved with the production. Many comments criticize the series' woke message. The trailer notes that Santa has traditionally been a white man's game and vows to change that. Well, the tricky part about that is Santa has always been based off Saint Nick, so whenever you start race swapping or gender swapping Santa Claus, you're kind of taking away what made the character that character, or not the character, but Santa Claus. So you can't be changing the race and the gender of Santa Claus, because then you start changing who Santa Claus is. It's actually a very important part of Santa Claus. With a lot of these things in their race and gender swapping stuff, it doesn't mean that much because it's not integral to the person of whoever they're race and gender swapping. But whenever you're basing someone like Santa Claus off of Saint Nicholas, it's kind of integral to the person of Saint Nicholas that he is white and male. If you start changing the race and gender of that person, then they're no longer that person, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes complete sense. I'm sure to a lot of people out there that makes absolutely no sense because gender is fluid and all that stuff. But anyway, claims are circulating that YouTube disabled the dislike count after tens of thousands disliked the Santa Inc. trailer. However, YouTube recently announced a plan to remove dislike count from its site. The timing might be coincidental here. It's not coincidental, but 100% they would have removed the dislike to like ratio on the video if that update didn't come out when it did, because they already removed the comments like immediately once people started catching on to what's going on in this trailer. Immediately when this caught traction, everyone was leaving comments, and they disabled the comments immediately because they knew that they couldn't dislike the video because it didn't really matter, but they knew that they could leave a comment because that did matter and everyone would see the comments. But let's check in actually on what's going on with these trailers. 187,000 dislikes and only 4.4k likes. Nothing really too new on that one, but it is, you know, the numbers are still going up. The dislikes are still going up. And this one is the one where a lot of people took offense to what they were saying about the goy. Apparently that's a derogatory term that Jewish people use. A lot of people took offense to that, and there's 13,000 dislikes on this one to only 205 likes. And then we go to the Rotten Tomatoes. They set an all-time high, 4% on Rotten Tomatoes now. Shocker. I know that they're going to bump up this score over time. As time goes on, the score is going to get higher and higher. And like I said in my previous video, you have to make a couple extra clicks to be able to see the amount of reviews that are left. If we go and click on season 1, there have been 1,100 reviews, almost 1,200 reviews, and it's only at 4%. It's going to stay around there unless they doctor it, which they most likely will. And then we go to the IMDb scores. This one is still pretty crazy how many people have left a 1-star review on this. Over 10,000 people. Let me see if I refresh it, if it goes up a little bit. Not really, but over 10,000 people have left a 1-star review on IMDb. 537 people have left a 10-star review, and we all know what those people are actually doing. All the comments, whenever you actually go look at the actual reviews that are left, with the actual written reviews for these 10-star reviews, all they say is just here to piss off the right people and stuff like that. They haven't actually watched the show, and I would say that most of the 1-star reviews probably haven't watched the show either. I would be shocked if a total of 10,000 people have actually watched this show from episode 1 to the end of the show. That would be a shocker to me. I don't think there's any way anyone's watching this show. 10-star review, 1-star review, whatever it is, the show looks god awful, and I don't think anyone is going to watch it. And then this article, of course, more media trying to protect Santa Inc. I know it's kind of hard to see for you, but it says Santa Inc. season 2. When should we expect another season by? I would go on to say that there would never be another season. If they do make another season, they're really stupid and they're really bought into these dumb beliefs that they have, and they really think they're on the right side of history, which is absolutely hilarious because all you have to do is go look at the ratios out there. If you think there's that many istophobes where you can ratio a video or a trailer this bad, if you really think that, then there's no saving you. You will never be red pilled. You'll never be saved. You'll never realize that you're completely wrong. And they'll probably just continue to make a season 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. They'll continue doing this type of stuff, not even just in Santa Inc., but probably in other shows as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of this whole situation. What do you think about the media protecting Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman and Santa Inc. altogether? Of course, the critics are still refusing to review the show on Rotten Tomatoes, so they're also trying to protect them. Let me know what you think about Sarah Silverman and Seth Rogen's responses, all that stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, though, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the links to that will be in the description as well. Thank you for watching the video. Hope to see you in the next one.